Hi, everyone. Welcome. I want to introduce you to the newest member of our family and of our church. This is Oliver David Kenny. He was born April 24th, 747, 9 pounds, 3 ounces, 20 and a half inches long. So mom and baby are doing well.
Can't wait to see you all again and for you guys to get to meet him. Oh!
Take care. Hope everybody does well. Hey, church family. Hope you're all doing well. I normally record and edit all of our videos for the Sunday sermon towards the end of the week here, but obviously things were a little turned up with Ollie being born. But I just wanted to bring you just a short video, still at least, with just a thought that's been going over in my head with everything that's going on and with the birth of Ollie. Some things that I think God just kind of picked out and pointed at in my brain, and it starts with Matthew chapter 13 verse 17. And as I sat here this afternoon and Kirsten napped and I snuggled with baby Ollie for a while, and it just kind of, I just thought about what God is going to do with him. What is God going to do in the future? What's God doing now in everything that's going on? And this verse kind of is what came to mind. In Matthew chapter 13, verse 17, it says this: "For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them." And talking with another pastor and my brother-in-law and a few things, we talked about some end times, and we talked about God's plan for time. And one of the things that has struck me in the last while, as I've studied and just been trying to learn the Bible, is that even in the Old Testament, while they had an inkling that Messiah was going to come, that God was going to do something in the future, they didn't know what it was. And Jesus is saying here that the things that these apostles were getting to able to see during this time is what the prophets have been waiting on all of these years before, but yet they weren't able to see it. And even though there was pictures that we can see, looking back in the Bible, we can see some of those pictures. They didn't see those things at that time, and so they desired to know more. And so, and even after Jesus Christ is crucified, after he rises again from the dead, then he, talks to his disciples, but then he even tells his disciples, you know what? Wait here until the promise of the Father, until you receive the promise of the Father. And we know that there's some time that elapses there. And then finally, the day of Pentecost shows up, and an amazing thing happens with the church and with God showing his revelation of what he's doing a little bit more. He shows up there on Pentecost, and then on out. And we've never, I believe that man has never really been able to see what God is doing in the future. And because the Bible says that my ways are not your ways, and my thoughts are not your thoughts, and as my ways are higher than the heavens, and my thoughts higher than that, I don't think we can understand. I think the Bible gives us a little bit. I think he gives us an idea of what's going to happen with the book of Revelation, and some things that are written in the Bible. I think we have a general idea of what's going on. But I don't think we fully understand or know the when, where, why of what God's doing, and I appreciate that, because that tells me that I serve a God that's way bigger than me. And so, a lot of the things that are going on now with this coronavirus and all of the stuff that surrounds that, there's a lot of talk, there's a lot of trying to make that fit with the end times, and excuse me, fit with the mark of the beast, and the just all of these things that are going on. And that has to say that this is the end times, and that these are the signs, that the seals are being opened, that the book of Revelation is unfolding, all of that. And I have to disagree with that. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but I don't think so. If that's the case, then that should have been 100 years ago when the Spanish flu was going on, or when two world wars were being fought. There's always turmoil in the world because of sin, because of degradation, because of sin. There's always wars and rumors of wars and pestilence and all these sort of things. And so, but I think our mindset has to be this: I don't know what God is doing, but I know that what He always does is good. And I think that's the mindset that we need to have with this coronavirus, the mindset that we need to have with everything that occurs in our life. It should be an attitude. I believe the most overwhelming attitude that the Christian should have, yes, is love, joy, peace, all of that. But what you're going to find out is that throughout the time that Jesus Christ is on earth preaching, throughout the New Testament writers, Paul's writings, you know what he is telling in what is being told to us through that whole time? Is wait, look, I'm coming. Occupy till I come. I'm coming back. A hope that's coming, and a faith that causes us to look to the future. And I believe one of the greatest attitudes that a Christian should have is an attitude of expectation. That we should be expecting not the next worst thing, not the next sign of the end times, not the next, pandemic, not the next world war, not the next mark of the beast. We're not expecting any of that. Our attitude as a Christian should be one of expectation, first and foremost, that the Lord could come back at any moment. But then secondly, an attitude of expectation is, what is God going to do with what's going on around us? And I think we should have this in our own personal lives. I could have never told you, even 10 or 15 years ago, that I would be where I'm at today. Yeah, I had an inkling, I had a desire, I had, I believe, a calling on my life to go that direction. But the way that God got me to this place right now is absolutely amazing. And I'm sure that your life is the same way. And as I sat here earlier this afternoon with Oliver and him sleeping and just being able to look at him, I thought, I have no idea what God is going to do with that child. But I can't wait to find out what He's going to do with him. And that should be our attitude with everything that's going on. Is our times bad? Are, some people sick? Are some people dying? Are, times stressful? The economy? All of this sort of stuff. We should not be focusing on the negative. We should be focusing on the fact that we serve a God that can do some amazing things. And, if we watch the news media too much, we can get so focused on the negatives and the horrible things that are going on around us. And I want you to take stock for a little bit and just realize that so many good things happen in our lives each and every day. And we had one happen last night, that baby Oliver was born safe with no injuries, nothing. Mom is safe, baby's safe, he's doing well, he's eating well. And you think, well, he just happened. No, God brought another life into this world, even in the midst of a pandemic. And now we have the opportunity to raise him up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. And I can't wait to see what God's going to do with him. I can't wait to see. I think this attitude should go even beyond our own personal lives, but our attitude of the church. Our attitude now in a lot of things has been, well, I don't know, what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. But I think our attitude is, I don't know what's going to happen, but I can't wait to see what God's going to do in our church in the next year. I can't wait to see what God's going to be able to do through this in our personal lives, in the lives of our children, in the lives of the church, in our marriages, in our relationships, in all of that. Christians should never be without hope. We should always be with an attitude of expectation. But I think what needs to happen is the same thing that happened with the apostles. Jesus Christ told them, you're going to do greater things than I'm even doing. If I go away, then you're going to be able to do greater things than I'm doing. But when he went away, he said this, wait. Wait for the Father. Wait for the promise of the Father. And you know what the apostles were doing when the power of the Holy Spirit came on them in Pentecost, on Pentecost? You know what they were doing? They were being obedient. And the song that just kept coming to my mind over and over again throughout this afternoon was Trust and Obey. For there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. And I think if we want to see great things from God, then you know what we need to do? We need to do what we're supposed to be doing. Waiting for the Lord, being in expectation with Him, being in obedience to what He would have us to do, so that when God moves and does something wonderful, we're there, we're ready, we've been waiting for it, and we can be a part of it. So that's my desire for you today, is think about your life and not just the bad things that are going on, not just the turmoil that surrounds a lot of our world and our country today, but an attitude of expectation that I can't wait to see what God is going to do in all of these areas of our life. Take care. Hope you have a great Sunday. I have some things that we are hopefully working towards in starting to have services again. Hopefully we can start bringing some of those things in line over the next couple weeks to a month before we get back on a regular schedule. But I hope everyone is doing well, and we thank you for your prayers, and we will talk to you soon.